Wisconsin is a state known for its great beer.
And behind every great beer is great brewing, great people, and great stories.
On this show, we're going to be talking to the people that are responsible for making the beer that we love.
We're here at HopCat in Madison, and this is Behind the Brews.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Mark Alfred, and I'm here with my brother in brewing, Fred Swanson. We're standing here in Bernie's Chalet here at Lakefront Brewery in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Lakefront is not only an historical icon and a landmark in the brewing industry, but they also make some great beer. So let's go meet Russ and Jim, the brothers behind this great brewery.
So the Chambers Street location was a big Frankenstein operation, cobbled together, very different than what we're looking at today. Talk about that old space and where we are today.
Well, we started December 2nd, 1987, and when we first started out, we actually wanted to put the brewery in my brother's house. And we actually had, I went out and I bought a 55-gallon drum and I put it on top of the stove, filled it up with 50 gallons of water, and we were able to get it to boil. So we thought we could make a brewery there. And we actually got our zoning changed, and then the health department shut us down. But then we found an old bakery building down the street from us, and we thought, well, we could do the same thing there. Just brew 55-gallon batches on weekends, both had our day jobs still. And we started just brewing a couple barrels at a time. Scavenged all the old tank yards, and literally every piece of equipment we had lived and died a previous life.
So as founders, have you all always done decisions together, or have there been any sibling rivalry in any of the decisions that you made?
I thought we played together pretty well. Jim's always been Mr. Outside, I've been Mr. Inside. And so we kind of played our own roles, and I let what he did out there, and he kind of let me do inside, and so it worked out.
There was some conflict with my day job too, where I couldn't have a city license, so I had to be a little bit more low-key in the early days of the brewery.
So Jim, let's talk about your early days, because you came out of a very different world. Tell us what the world that you came out of to get into brewing, because you have a unique series of positions prior to being a brewery owner.
Yeah, prior to going full-time at the brewery, I was with the Milwaukee Police Department. So being on the department, you couldn't hold the licensed premises in the city of Milwaukee. So it was a little bit under the radar with what I was doing at that time. But one of the advantages was you had different off days, you had different shifts. That helped with the brewing schedule, the maintenance schedule, delivering, and all the little things you needed to do with it. But I had to definitely wear two hats at that time and be a little bit discreet in what I could own and what I could do.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your acting career.
Acting career, there was an opportunity I had, made-for-TV movie with Charles Bronson. It was called Family of Cops, and it was kind of nice because I got to spend some time with him. During one of the scenes, we were in a room all together, and he was a baseball fan. It was during the time of the World Series, so we got to talk a little baseball and spend some time with an actor who played a lot of law enforcement roles. So I really appreciate that. So you can see the Magnificent Seven, old reruns of the Magnificent Seven, and know, hey, I was with that guy at one time.
Are you both actively still involved in all aspects of your beer portfolio, or do you work with a team?
Well, we work with a team. I mean, we have almost 70 full-time people here between the kitchen, tours, and brewing operation. Brewmaster, let him determine the flavors. We really don't do the recipes anymore. He always likes to make the beers very flavorful but well balanced. People come up to me and say, I can always drink a full six-pack of yours. I never really feel that it ever gets bad, or I buy something, ever got to throw it out. So I think that's good. And so even with the marketing campaigns and other things, we have other people that specialize in that. We always have the final say. If we don't like it, we can always go back. But then you have people in their careers, and you have to let them make some decisions too.
I think it's pretty well known that I've somewhat retired from the brewery. I'm still staying active, like doing interviews. But after 30 plus years, I have decided to step back And it's a new industry right now, and let people that are familiar with the procedures and what's going on out there on the street, take over and do that. So
You have some iconic things in the brew house, from the vessels out front that have been painted to the chalet and the Bernie Brewer influence. And how do you guys come up with the chalet? How do you end up buying that and getting it into the building?
Well, I read an article in the newspaper, Journal Sentinel, one morning, and it said they didn't know what to do with the old chalet. And so I called them up when I got to work and asked if I could buy it. They named a price I didn't think was bad. I said, I'll be down in your offices in a half an hour giving you the check. Since they're building a place called Miller Park, I thought they might change their mind on this. And so I came on down, I gave them the check, and to my surprise, a little contract written up. And essentially what the contract said was, in no way, shape, or form could I tarnish the image of Bernie Brewer by use of the chalet. I want to make sure I never put any strippers up there in Bernie outfits, or sold the hotel theme room, or you get the Bernie Brew room for the night and try hitting your own home run. But yeah, we have a lot of things. We have the things out front. We also have the lights from the Plankinson Hotel. And in the beer hall, I think if the brewery may not be here in 1,000 years, but saving those lights definitely did. The building itself is iconic, old power plant. The artwork in front we made out of our own tanks. I think it's the most photographed piece of art in the city of Milwaukee.
And this location is kind of a home run. I mean, you guys are the cornerstone of the development that happened here in River Island.
Yeah, if we wouldn't have bought this building, it would have been torn down. And there was a lot of contamination in this because of its old power plant. This whole strip of land here used to be where they put the coal for heating Milwaukee. We had pictures of just like all up and down the banks. We got what they call no further action letter from the state of Wisconsin. Once we got it, everybody else got it in the states along the street here. So we were kind of key to the development. And I have a feeling this, they got 16-inch walls in this place. I don't think it's ever going to get torn down.
So you guys are constantly winning awards for the experience of coming here, whether it's the top fish fry awards in the city or the tour, whether that's a statewide award or a national award. Talk about how the experience of coming here for those types of events have built your legacy in the brewery.
I think one of the bigger legacies is our tours, and my brother, helped start. I kind of joke about this, but it's basically true, is when I first started to do tours, I gave tours like I was a science teacher. And my brother didn't know as much about beer, so he just gave out beer first and told jokes. And everybody took his tour and nobody took mine. And you go around the country and everybody's trying to imitate us. That was one thing that we go, and the entertaining tour is something we really kind of pioneered, trying to come up with the next thing in beer. And be fun and have a nice place, and we're constantly still improving.
Yeah, I just don't think much about legacy. I guess it happened, it's good, it's fluid, keep it organic. You move on to the new people that are coming up and starting new breweries, and if you inspire them, fine. Time doesn't stand still, cliche. And what happens, happens, and I'm just glad I was there for my part.
Russ and Jim, thanks for having us out today. It's been great telling stories and catching up. And you can see us next time at isthmus.com/Behind the Brews. Cheers.
Cheers.